Well, hello there, Apple Bites. This is your Apple Bite Rafael Tavares talking to you here from the Written Writ, the show where you and I and you take our journey to become better writers. Yes. Well, this week we shall be talking about genre. Genre. And of course, by genre, I mean what you want to write. I was sitting there looking through all the definitions, trying to figure out which way to go with this. And I realized that it is easier to just tell you what I am doing. Alright? So, here it is. I tend to be somewhere in sci-fi, fantasy, religion, myth. Well, yeah, you get the idea. I've studied a lot of mythology, I've studied a lot of religion, and I tend to use this as my basis for my writings. I do tend to bend into some sci-fi, and I love fantasy. Of course, mythology and religion are all part of the fantasy. Or they could be, or they couldn't be. Hey, well, that's what I'm doing. Now, if you remember now, I told you that you need to find your voice. So if you find your voice, now you need to figure out what you're going to write. Are you whatever genre it is that you're going to write? You need to start going into that direction. This is important because you don't want to just jump into anything. You want to know what you're comfortable with writing. I feel comfortable in this general area. Not that you can't just dip out and do something else. You can. I can see myself writing a mystery, a thriller, some drama. Yes, but I tend to stay here in this area. Of course, we cannot forget that I love poetry. Yes, I like to write poetry. It's not your typical poetry. I guess it is your more free-form poetry. And I write it so that I can let out the emotions that I'm having inside of me. And there you go. I do some poetry, some sci-fi, some fantasy, some religion, some mythology. Because I've been studying mythology for a long time. I took a lot of courses in mythology. I studied a lot of mythology. I, in my early youth, went from religion to religion, studying each one, seeing where I wanted to be, so I can choose for myself which direction I was going to go. And in all this study of religion and mythology, I found a comfortable place to write. I love these stories that I write, and that's the direction I am going with. Now, you need to decide which direction you're going to. It's important because it lets you be more comfortable in your writing. Again, like I said before, it doesn't mean that you can't do other things, it just means that this is where you're more comfortable. Alright? So, there you go. Genre. Very simplified version of explaining this, because if you go and look, and you should do your research. You should always do your research. I'm just giving you a nice little basis here. You should always go out there and do your research on what's going on. If you go look up genre, you'll see that it's a specific let me tell you right here. A category of artistic composition, as in music or literature, characterized by similarities in form, style, or subject matter. Depending on what you're doing, you can have a genre in music, you can have a genre in writing and literature. There you go. So, figure out which genre you're in, know what voice you're writing in, and decide where you're going to go in your writing. Alright? It's as simple as that. And if you have any questions or comments or anything, or if you feel like I left something out, or you want to say, hey Ralph, by the way, whatever it is, you can let me know. Now, Excuse me a second while I whip this out. There we go. This week's writer's prompt is, don't touch me, I got my fuzzies on. You heard me right. Don't touch me, I got my fuzzies on. Yes, that is our writer's prompt. Of course, we all know what a writer's prompt is. A writer's prompt is a writer's tool that we use to get ourselves to writing. And this week's writer's prompt is, don't touch me, I got my fuzzies on. Now, if you want to see what I've done, here we go. I shall read it to you. Don't touch me. I got my fuzzies on, she said once. She had completely transformed herself into a cat form. Playfully, she looked at him, her cat eyes looking through him. She couldn't help herself. What's the matter? Cat got your tongue? He backed up, fell over the couch, and scrambled to right himself, only to be greeted by those eyes again. She was gracefully perched on the tipped-over couch, just staring at him. I really don't see anything special about you, yet the transformation speaks for itself. Don't get any ideas, witch boy. I do what I want. Just because you are a witch doesn't mean you rule over me. His eyes widened as the words stuttered from his mouth. Witch? Wait, I'm no witch. That's what I said. Good, we both agree. You are a lousy witch. No, that's not what I meant, he said. Look, I don't care what you call yourself. Witch, warlock, wizard, Bert, Ernie, or whatever. She pounced on top of him, pinning him to the floor. You're not in charge of me. That's my little story there. See if you can figure that out. If you want, you can go check it out on Dranix.tumblr.com. Dranix.tumblr.com. There you can see what I wrote, and let me know if you figure out what's going on in this story, because I like to be a little bit mysterious sometimes with my stuff. So there you go. Don't touch me, I got my fuzzies on. And oh wait, let's see, if you want a challenge, I will say the word of the week is what the heck? Let's make it strange, because I am very, very strange. Alright, there you go. The word of the week is tongue. Yeah, go ahead. But it can't be too difficult. We're talking about fuzzies. You know. So, don't touch me, I got my fuzzies on. The word of the week is tongue. And if you want to see what's going on, check me out at granix.tumblr.com. Now, if you have any questions, comments, or if you want to just put your stuff, you can put it down right below underneath, and you can share with us, and we'll see what's going on. If not, you can do it on Tumblr and just tag me to it, or whichever direction you want to go. Don't forget to subscribe down there on the bottom. Yeah, down there on the bottom. Yeah, don't forget to subscribe, okay? You want to subscribe because this way you get to see what's coming up and what's going on. Well, this is Rafael Tavares, your Apple Bite, signing off from the Written Writ. Until next week, when I'll say something like, what were we talking about? Yeah, well, you know, sometimes insanity is a good thing. You have a great day. And just remember, enjoy writing. Because the writing enjoys you. Yeah, I know. I'm insane. Alright, guys. Adios.